those best of threes. We're going on number 7, but in game 2, EnVy played a tight game and took down the win to send us into a deciding match.
That's right. Backs against the walls, facing a Echo Fox lead like TSM did, are able to strike back like TSM did. Honestly, though, that game, EnVy, they jumped out to a very big early lead with the lane swap. They got first the Rift Herald lead, then the First Blood, then the Drake as well. And that really snowballed well for them. Echo Fox, they're going to have to be concerned about reverting to their old ways that we saw a couple weeks ago. In game number 1, they had a good showing. They're making changes, being more decisive, a lot of good early plays. So that's where they're going to have to start. If it is another lane swap, not give up those objectives for free, at least trade for them in the early game so they can transition into actually being able to take matters into their own hands again. And secure a series victory for themselves, which have eluded them for the most part. Just the one to their name.
They're still lacking that really big consistency across multiple games, and they just have a really difficult time converting.
Just need to win one more game, though.
But they've got one more opportunity to do it in this series as we get into Champion Select. How are they going to change it up in this game number 3? Clearly going to have a little more priority banning away that Vladimir Swain, or perhaps picking it away. As Nidalee, again, exact same ban against Proxen.
Yeah, honestly, I just think they need to pick more hard crowd control. I think Echo Fox really needs somebody with a decisive move that everyone can follow. It's very clear. It's almost like Malphites and Amumu's and
Orianna.
How those things have high win rates, for a reason, right? It's very clear when to go. You're able to lock people down. Like, it's really hard to make proactive plays if you don't have some form of hard CC. If you don't, then you default into a defensive play style like that.
Well, we're hoping that Echo Fox will be able to show us that with something a little bit different in this, as Trundle banned away from Hakuho, as Echo Fox don't want to play against that. Looks like the psychological effect of smacking the inhibitor worked during that previous game. Rise again banned away, but the double mid lane ban from Echo Fox, that both Vladimir, Swain, and Karma still up, along with that Rek'Sai, which Proxen has taken 2 games in a row. So some very high priority picks.
Yeah, banning out the support Trundle. Support Trundle, though, like, if you're not going to run a pure tank, then support Trundle does lose a lot of value. There's the pure tank. We want to run a pure tank? We're going to ban your support Trundle. Here comes the Shen. All right, I like it from Echo Fox. They can make some cross-map plays early. Shen does have huge playmaking abilities. Maybe it'll be KFO joining with the rest of the team, taking matters into his own hands instead of being pure split push. Obviously, Shen is going to try and get the waves under control first. But they're definitely... Oh, here we go.
Yeah, he'll have his work cut out for him as Karma locked in now for EnVy. It's up to Proxen on that Rek'Sai to help out with that. Again, the Talia hover from Froggen, just giving us the old smile.
Just can't wait to play.
Yep. Soon, trademark.
Soon.
I mean, it would be a great entrance with the Shen. Surf a wall into the enemy team and drop a Shen right onto him.
It'll be a ninja surfing also. Surf Ninjas, have you seen that movie? It's great. Classic. Extremely old, though.
Gragas is going to be the pickup for KFO, though, and going to save on to that counter pick a little more. Look for those solo lanes from EnVy as Froggen locks in Jhin for Keith.
I like it. Keith has been playing a lot of Jhin. Very, very popular AD carry at the moment. Worldwide, most played for the last couple of weeks, actually, among the competitive regions. So much long-range potential. You don't even have to start in the team fights. If your whole contribution to one of the fights is your ultimate, that's honestly not a bad thing. As long as you're picking somebody with a Gragas, and Shen and everyone up there on the front line, Jhin can add such a substantial amount of damage with just the ult alone, and then walk up to try and clean up in a bit closer range.
Taking a look at Echo Fox's comp, though, it looks like they've already got the core of that disengage kite composition once again with the Gragas and now a Jhin to lock it out. And EnVy answer with the, we're going to go in, Sivir, Karma.
The thing is, if you're planning that with the Jhin is so much more vulnerable than Ezreal is. So it does make that a lot more difficult. You can still pull it off, and you just have to have good positioning with your Jhin, and use them for those long-range picks like we talked about. But it definitely would involve a lot more risk. And EnVy here locking in the Fiora, speed boost as well with the Sivir and Karma. Let's see if they can actually abuse the Shen. We've seen it a couple times, people trying to pick the Fiora into the Shen for the soft lane, being able to scale up. Fiora now, really scary at like 3 items. You know, you get your Tiamat fully completed, you've got your Ravenous, you get Black Cleaver, plus you start stacking, you know, building into your 3rd item, and that's when you really start to feel the pressure. And she maxes out at an extremely strong split pusher now. We'll see if Seraph can get there, though. He's definitely got some extra speed to get him there.
And now in answer, it's going to be Swain picked up for Froggen in the mid lane, and Big resorting to that Nami for Echo Fox. A lot of slows, a lot of CC, a lot of kiting, but more importantly, a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, I was a really big fan of the Braum Jhin because there's so much kill potential. And I was definitely looking, you know, for that playmaking potential and kill potential in more lanes for Echo Fox. Nami is obviously more sustained route, but we shall see if Big is able to, you know, land tidal waves. There is an added long range support here as well. Now, if we look at Team EnVy, how they want to answer this. I mean, Echo Fox are running a fairly well-rounded comp. You know, something to get in there and try and assassinate the Jhin, though. All right, Azir.
How about Sand Soldiers?
Interesting.
As Ninja locks in Azir for the final pick. Lots of AoE, big crits, big late game. Explosive plays all around from EnVy's team.
Definitely true. Azir still top mage, one of the top 3 mages in competitive right now. Let's see if Ninja can actually make it work, because the reason I'm hesitating on this one for EnVy is because Ninja's had such a clear playstyle of run into the enemy team.
Yeah.
Maybe he goes with the Zhonya's Azir and tries to Azir stick people all day long. But right now, they are definitely showing the speed comp. You know, they are going to use the Sivir and the Karma to disengage. They want to buy time for that split pushing Fiora. They also want to buy time for him in the early game to scale up. This time, definitely a lot of scaling here on EnVy's side. If they get there, though, huge amount of damage from this EnVy squad in the late game. Azir, Sivir, and Fiora.
Yeah.
They're going to pump it out.
They certainly can. Twitter alert, it's time to put on a fresh pot of coffee. This is your last chance tonight to influence the fan vote as we get into our last game. EnVy fans, make some noise for your squad with hashtag EnVyWin. Echo Fox fans, cheer your team to victory using hashtag FOXWin. As we load onto our last game for the night, Echo Fox, can they show us the consistency they've been looking for?
Classic. Now the question is, can we turn Friday Night League into Saturday Morning League? We are 33 minutes away from Saturday Morning League.
Yeah.
And Echo Fox are trying to get us there.
The crowd is ready.
Let's see if they can do it. Echo Fox, they really want to actually finish off a series victory here. They did step 1. Game number 1 opening was very strong from them. Got to close here, though. And EnVy trying to rebound after the stiff schedule they had the last 2 weeks. Oh, starts with ward battles, Dom. It always starts with ward battles.
First ward damage.
It doesn't count. You don't get any points for 1 hit on a ward.
Hakuho did get a bit of gold, though, because he was able to hit Keith with the Q.
That definitely matters.
The young inner flame damage and a little bit of damage from Froggen as well. Looks like he's opting for the corrupting potion in lane to burn through Ninja. And looks like we're not seeing a lane swap this time. Echo Fox opting into the 2v2. Ranged harass versus ranged harass.
Oh, look at this. Straight up normal game strategy. Camp in there. See if they poke out early. Get a nice chunk on them. I think they're going to go for the invade here a little bit late, though. So, yeah.
Oh,
Walk
Hakuho's
on
cheating
here.
forward.
He's going to get some more money. Fishing for that spell thief's money.
So they see Hakuho, but Hakuho doesn't see them.
Uh-oh. Now who's caught?
Oh, boy, Hakuho.
Coming around. Wow,
Position. He's actually escorted out by Lod, who takes the long way around through try.
Yeah, Keith's giving up on that. Going for my experience. All right, we get standard lanes this time around, so Echo Fox don't have to worry about coming out of the lane swap with a huge disadvantage. They can fight for it here. Poke is landing for Hakuho, but in that 1 versus 2, he sustained a lot of damage, burning through his potions very quickly.
Yeah, Keith juggling out those grenades very expertly, gets some good damage, and as you can see, the ebb and flow from Big is able to heal him up just a bit as he takes some more damage from the inner flame of Hakuho.
Level 2 race is very even. Nobody started to camp.
Oh boy.
And they get it first, but it doesn't matter. Quickly answered.
Yeah, currently Echo Fox a little worse for wear in terms of overall health pools, but they're able to heal it back up as EnVy did use both of their potions, so no longer any sustain outside of what they currently have.
Because this top lane is trading so effectively as well, junglers are going to gravitate up there. Proxen's able to gain jungle dominance, takes out the Scuttle Crab, forces hard back into his own jungle. Yeah. And he's up on minions as well.
Meanwhile, EnVy continue to put pressure on this bottom side of the map. Currently looks like EnVy are trying to put pressure in all of their lanes, with Seraph shoving in the top and Lod and Hakuho doing some work in the bottom ones. But Ninja's keeping even with Froggen.
I like it. Keith going up to try and trade with the crit bullet. He's got Big putting the Nami speed and slow onto him as well. Even though Jin doesn't want to go for sustained trades, he just goes in for the auto attack grenade trade. And backs out, allowing Nami to heal him back up. Rinse and repeat.
Yeah, just keep on training it out. Snare dodge at the last second by Hakuho as Ninja gets a quite favorable trade onto Froggen, who just now burns his first corrupting potion charge, so he'll be able to heal that up no problem as Proxen invades and gets some vision for himself.
Yeah, Proxen actually has spent so much time maneuvering for this that he's behind in experience.
He's actually able to get behind Froggen. Flash dodges the first bit of it, and Froggen's able to get in. The Nevermore catches the bolt. Proxen takes a lot of damage. The burn is ticking. First blood for Hard.
The counter engage huge. They spent so much time and fully committed to that. Oh, teleport deep. Keith is in trouble.
Oh boy, Keith is going to be walking into Seraph. He tries to flash to kite it out. There goes Seraph looking for the final, but Keith gets a kill. Misses
get another one.
Oh, he's finally going to drop. They might try to convert it on the Big. No, he's able to walk it out.
KFO up on the top side is going to try and push that into the turret. That was teleports for Seraph, so he's going to lose out on a big wave as well. Did get the kill onto Keith.
Yeah, EnVy are up 2-1. But they've also got 1,000 gold lead 5 minutes into the game. Here's that gank in the mid lane once again.
Yeah, and this is the flash from Froggen was just as the knockup is able to tag him. And then Hard is in there for the counter and easily lands the never move. Pretty big turn as well. All right, so here's what spawned the, or what spurred the teleport. Keith is, as we remember, going to end up with the crit shot kill. So that's very, very good news for your team. If your bottom lane gets teleported on and they exchange kills like that, huge advantage earned because the Shen now 10 CS up on the Fiora. But what's really important is the experience, because not only does he have teleport advantage now, but he can use the Shen ultimate down bottom lane and then teleport right back up to the top side without losing anything. Huge amount of map control. Plus, he should be able to hit level 6 first, even with the kill credit going over. Oh, it was actually shared, yeah, for Seraph. So KFO should be in position to create those early proactive plays you're talking about.
Yeah, currently rocking the Balmy Cinder for a little bit more wave clear as Seraph tries to trade with him time and again.
Which I always look for in the Shen lane. Is maneuvering that blade so you can get it to pass through your opponent. Get a substantially increased amount of current health damage and attack speed for your trades. The other thing to keep track of is, of course, your dodge zone for the trading. Spirit's Refuge.
Yeah, looks like Hard is actually on the bottom side of the map right now, along with Proxen.
great thinking here. They're trying to force the play. They know they have global advantage. The Shen is ready and waiting. There's nothing Seraph can do to stop his teleport. So they want to force something on the opposite side of the map. It's taking a long time, though. They're trying to shove the wave in. And Hard is being very patient, waiting maybe for a counter gank or something, but spending a lot of his time waiting there. And it's actually allowing Proxen to catch back up in the jungle.
Minor trade-offs for Echo Fox. They look for the play, but EnVy, cognizant of that global presence, don't fall for any traps that Echo Fox have been setting. Froggen, though...
Hard has been in the river for a good 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Almost an entire minute as a jungler. Early game is an eternity to go without killing some sort of jungle camp.
Is it like some sort of compulsive itch as a jungler to clear things?
If you're not attacking something,
you're doing it wrong?
Yeah. You start to feel
a little antsy.
What is my purpose, really?
Am I just a ward bot?
Oh.
Good dodge.
I like it. KFO. Able to time that one very well. They end up just settling for the Infernal Drake. Pretty good prize to settle for. Patience pays off. Oh, Ninja actually!
Oh, he's pinned against the wall right now and is forced to use the soldiers to dash away.
Froggen gonna actually bully him out. Interesting move here for the Rift Herald. They should be able to get it because I see no reason why Fox would expect them to be on it. Seraph was low when he left lane, so they probably assumed he went back to purchase. And they haven't been able to keep track of Proxen, so should be a pretty sneaky Rift Herald here for Seraph, and that will be very big in helping him out with that Shen matchup, getting him back on track. His teleport's back up, so Seraph actually
you can see with the
much
global
more confident now.
You can see with the global presence that Keith has had, knowing that he has a Shen on his team who can quickly jump in to save him. He's been shoving in this lane over and over and has accumulated a 20 CS lead. Froggen's actually TPing in from behind a deep ward at the blue buff.
One teleport. Shen ready to come in as well.
Yeah, waiting from behind. Spell Shield blocks the tidal wave, but there's the long range engage. KFO hops in. Lod will go down to Keith's snipes.
That was a long time in the making, that play. Froggen bullies out his mid lane. KFO comes and finally uses Stand United. Plus, actually, the wave was already shoved, so KFO can actually walk back to top lane. Doesn't have to burn his teleport. Seraph used his and canceled it, trying for a rebuttal there. But Keith's constant pressure pays off in the bottom lane. And Echo Fox convert.
Whoa, Froggen gets slid into Proxen. Doesn't have any summoners, though.
Has healing from his ult.
He's healing it right back up. KFO actually hops in. He's going to try to turn on the Proxen, who doesn't have a flash. Well, is looking for the kill. Will he be able to catch up hard? Oh, not able to convert it.
Now it's KFO, the one with the early teleport, trying to turn a play for his team, and Seraph actually gets to capitalize on it. And since Seraph is a damage-dealing champion, built attack damage, gets to destroy this turret very quickly. Plus, little mentioned fact, the Glimpse of the Void, that Rift Herald buff, does work on structures as well. So helps him out in that split push significantly, and a turret lead, or a turret equalization there due to the bottom lane shenanigans.
Yeah, KFO's going to try to defend this wave bottom, but he's got to do it against Karma Sivir, who are getting some pretty big chip damage onto him as he's harassed away from the minions, forced to just catch the CS from a distance, catch the long-range experience.
Big poke. It is going to be a turret trade probably, though, as both teams have committed AD carry and support to the swap lanes. It'll just be a little bit quicker for Team EnVy. And they are not requesting the support of their jungler and destroying the turret, so one extra camp Proxen gets to steal away.
Yeah, Echo Fox, they're making decisive calls this game. They're actually trying to turn things around, but EnVy are doing the same as Proxen again ganks Froggen in the mid lane, trying to match them call for call and balance this back out. It's a 500 gold lead for Echo Fox, despite the 2 kills and the Infernal Drake they have. So not opening up too much of an advantage, as it seems like we're getting back into the same position as that game number 1.
Yeah, a lot similar, and that's good news for Echo Fox, because game number 2 was bad news.
Yes. Just the very, very defensive play until eventually it was the only play.
All right. Hard looking for a play.
Bought it over the wall.
All right. Well, we talk about the speed of Sivir and the speed of Karma.
Yep.
On display right there for you all to see. Very impressive. Yes. Just nice AoE shield there. Able to speed him right up. And Hard actually using that cooldown does reduce the playmaking ability because Shen's teleport's not up. He does have Stand United, but you know, Seraph can answer anything, and Seraph is getting to a more confident spot right now. He's gonna go back, probably complete his Ravenous. Almost. Can't quite get the combine cost, but he's pretty much there. And EnVy are very happy to just scale up on his ear. As we said, they're going to pump out the damage late in the game, and Rek'Sai should be going full tank because all they need is a point man with the damage that the rest of their team will be able to dish out.
Oh, opening the curtain call. I think he's going to be...
That's why you run a full tank when you're facing a Jhin.
Oh, fourth bullet. Ah,
Got him. Worth the mind games. Wait till it's about to time out. But yeah, that's something that really does need to be reiterated, I think. Since we're seeing so much Jhin, you need a full tank versus Jhin because the ultimate, there's such a big difference between popping that Jhin ultimate against stragglers, you know, against squishies, or when you have the security to have someone building full defense and being at a high percentage of their health, able to soak them up. It does almost nothing. So definitely gonna have that in the package.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Proxen decides to go for that, or if he goes for the more greedy Tiamat Titanic Hydra that he's been doing before.
Yeah.
20 Drakes until that Infernal Drake spawns. KFO has Stand United and is about to have Teleport. And right now, Vision is in control of Echo Fox. EnVy, though, move towards the top side of the map.
They're trying to play off the advantage of Fiora here. She hasn't quite completed the necessary items to get those solo kills.
They've got a really big minion wave. They might try to
Four
break down
people,
the
though.
turret.
That's not a solo.
There's a teleport. KFO is going to be knocked up and burned through, but Froggen gets in just a little too late. Tidal Wave catches Seraph, who riposts the bubble, and now EnVy are trying to back away. Hard gets the cask and separates them back in. Proxen goes low. He's finally going to drop, but it's a one-for-one trade as Hard goes down to Seraph.
What was going on there? Got a little greedy. Everybody else moved on. They thought you could just clean up a Fiora. There's too much damage on there. Even without completing it, you know, pops that Vital, able to get a kill back, and it's actually only 2 versus 2, or 2 for 2, excuse me. Gold remaining very equal, which is quite good for EnVy.
Neither jungler is up, but both are in position to look for that Infernal Drake Ninja. He's sticking around.
And Proxen actually can, Rek'Sai obviously, get right back out there quicker, so they should be able to defend it, even though Fox are making a good move to grab Vision on that Drake. They don't have the mobility on their own jungler.
Now, once again, both teams grouping up around that Drake. Echo Fox have got the Stand United and the Teleport, so double global if they try to press it that way. But Proxen is waiting behind the Drake pit.
Will his patience pay off? It gets a little bit antsy.
And he does drop a ward over the wall, so they see now that this Infernal Drake is being started.
I think you just give this up at this point. I mean, you have so much scaling here on EnVy's side. Plus, they have Sivir up on the top side, so they're definitely giving up on it. I wonder if they actually dive Shen, though. KFO still has Flash, so he can probably get away. Maybe they're just trying to chip away at the turret, try and get an objective in answer.
Yeah, Shen not the best at wave clear. Is forced to back away as the tier 2 is going to go down. So EnVy trade the Infernal Drake for a tier 2 in the long run.
Definitely a worthwhile trade. They need more money to fuel into these carries. Let's take another look at the 4-man dive on KFO that prompted everything. Teleport in there from Froggen. Yeah, KFO, there's no way he's living there when you see 4 people, but then things go awry because Froggen immediately was able to get off the never move. Hard barely missed out on that body slam, but doesn't end up mattering. Here's the thing where Froggen just walks away from Seraph, doesn't finish him off, and that's why he's able to get that last kill, I think. Not quite sure. I think maybe one more auto and Hard might have lived.
Whoa!
But this time,
Seraph
though.
gets bounced back. He drops the grand challenge onto Froggen, but challenge is not going to be enough to keep him alive.
Back to the wall! Don't let him get the vital!
Vitals. There's the riposte. Froggen finally able to kill him with a killing spree. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Keith is forced to drop the curtain to clear out those minions.
All right, bottom lane's also pushing those. So EnVy, even though you cleared out middle wave minions, they can just transition down to bottom and try and make quick work of that one.
Yeah, so Echo Fox finally taking some decisive action in this game to look for kills, but EnVy answering appropriately by putting pressure in multiple lanes.
Well, they do not have a 0 round, so abandoned mission. Defense here from Echo Fox, able to get out with just a scratch. Froggen 3-0-2, only has not participated in a single kill here. Doing a lot of work on the Swain. It is costing him in CS numbers because he's teleporting, trying to make plays on other lanes. But it's definitely worthwhile for them, keeping the gold extremely close.
Yeah, EnVy, slight advantage in terms of overall gold, as Froggen and Keith are going to be forced to share a bit of CS. EnVy continuing to look to play the map, try to look for these favorable trades with Echo Fox, force them to make hard decisions. And blue buff now going to be gifted over to Froggen now. And things seem to have slowed down a bit after that scuffle around the Drake and a look for a few of the turrets.
Yeah. One move I actually really enjoy, especially when you have a double teleport like this, is having your mid laner shadow your top laner split push. Especially since you have a Shen and you have an extra global. There are a lot of options here for Echo Fox because you pretend like you just have a normal Shen split pushing. Oh, Ninja gets caught up in the mid lane. Barely able to get out there. But yeah, you pretend like you have a normal split pushing Shen by himself. Here is a normal split pushing Shen by himself.
Eat a lot of damage. Dodge zone stalls it out. There's a teleport completed by Froggen, but canceled by Seraph, who's clearing out the Raptor camp. Not sure if worth, as Froggen chases EnVy away. Don't you hit my Shen. He's even got the cane. He's the old man with the cane. Get off my bot lane.
Now they have Stand United available. No teleport on Seraph. Possibility for a play.
Ooh, collapses on the mid lane. Proxen eats a lot of crowd control, but flashes.
Good flash. Really good flash there for Proxen. Just spamming it, and the never move coming off duration a bit earlier because of the Mercury treads. Tenacity right there. Saved a life.
Yep.
Buy some Merc treads, live another day. And that is back to our point of, trying to have that tank on the front line. So not only the Jhin bullets, but as well as the crowd control. Does look like, though, as you talked about, he's going for the more greeny Titanic build once again. Full tank after that, though, right?
Yeah. I'm sure. Froggen scares a few folks away on the top side of the map, as Echo Fox keep on rotating back and forth around this mid lane, trying to wait for EnVy to make a mistake. But
well, once EnVy show their Sivir bottom lane, they know that they can dive in mid. Echo Fox should just push super hard mid. They have Gragas. Oh, the Gragas ultimate's not down, or the Gragas ultimate's not up, but he does have flash. So they should just push super hard in here. They have numbers advantage for sure. And they're doing it.
Yeah, Ninja's going to eat a lot of bullets.
What? Don't let him do that. Don't let him come in.
Able to dash
hard.
Away.
Oh, all right. Well, they don't go for it. They don't go for the risky play. Sivir is able to rotate up in that time, but they take the turret.
Froggen decides to commit to the dive. The turret finally falls. There's the Stand United, freshly empowered. He flashes to chase Lod, who makes it over the wall. But Seraph in the back line finds Keith. He's not able to proc, and he vitals throughout the chaos. Finally, he drops it, and he's able to heal himself back up
and he's out.
Escape. Proxen will be able to try to turn it around in the front. Hard is going to drop. That's 2 for 1 so far in the tidal wave for disengage.
Oh my goodness, just tracks Seraph in that fight. Dipping into the back line, jumping back out with the Karma shield, and absolutely destroying Keith on the solo mission and able to escape as well. Froggen and crew are gonna have to try and pick up the scraps here as they start to lose control of mid lane as well.
Yeah, the mid-tier one with no one to defend it goes down. EnVy continue to press forward with both Azir and Sivir. KFO lands a taunt onto Seraph. Eats a bit of damage before getting away from the turret. Snare catches Laud. Oh, but there's the Emperor's Divide. Who's going to eat the bullets? This is going to be a really painful fourth bullet. Oh, and they're repulsed. Seraph.
And Karma Speed able to get him out once again. All right, that Drake, I don't think Prox, he's definitely, yeah, okay. He's not starting it. I think they have to forfeit that Drake. It's okay. It's a mid-game Ocean Drake. They already have 2 Infernos, though. So Echo Fox, even though they're behind in gold, stocking dragons, it's going to pay off later.
Yep. Invest in dragons. Hope that it pays off and doesn't crash if the enemy team takes Elder Dragon. But right now, Echo Fox taking more Drakes in this game than they have throughout the rest of the series.
Someone said, objective focus.
Yep.
They're all over it. All right, going to take away the blue as well. Jungle. Oh,
my gosh. They tried to gift it to Froggen. Ooh,
nice shot there from Prox.
Oh, Snare
my.
Hakuho. He's going to be taking a lot of damage as Ninja will get away from the cast.
They finally got one of the follow-up bubbles to land because that was a target without Merc Treads. Both Seraph and Proxton were barely getting away, dashing out, and the crowd control not being able to layer properly because of the Merc Treads, but no such treads on the support.
Yeah, now 5 versus 4 with that fresh Ocean Drake and some regeneration. Echo Fox resort to the exact same play that worked for them in game number 1. Rotate back and forth on that mid lane.
Yeah, the big wrinkle this time around is EnVy are packing a load of wave clear. Sivir and Azir, Karma to keep people safe, and then split push pressure. Seraph, as we talked about, the 2 item, huge power spike, already has the Ravenous. Fairly soon, that's actually not right into the Black Cleaver. That's a Trinity Force he's going for second. Interesting. I like it with the buffs to Trinity Force, actually very good on Fiora. Cooldown and attack speed.
Oh.
All right. Grand challenge.
Good way to block the vitals, but it's not going to last very long. Seraph procs all of them and heals up, but he doesn't have enough mana to make that an extended trade.
Yeah. Glimpse of the Void helping out there as well, or that actually would have gone in favor of KFO. And Echo Fox regrouping. Only down a marginal amount of gold, even though it's 2,000. They have the Drakes to make up for it.
Oh, Hard is trying to clear this ward out, but this is the exact same spot that he ended up dying in game number 1. Doesn't go too far forward. Whoa! Froggen scares him from the bush.
Yeah, can't quite get the Jin Snare, so he's able to get away, and he should heal up fairly easily. Rek'Sai fairly healthy. Has completed the Titanic, so...
I say Froggen scares him. Froggen actually scared me. I didn't see him there, and then he shouted, and I was, ah!
He's a little jumpy there, aren't you, Dom?
Well, we're in game 3.
Some history with birds.
Very close.
Have you ever been pooped on by a bird, Dom?
No, but one pooped in my yogurt once.
That's not worse, but it could be worse if you were in the process of taking a bite.
No, I wasn't taking a bite out of it.
Meanwhile, down bottom, I think this split push now does go in favor of Savage. Trinity Force is completed. He's even got this nice shiny gold ball to accompany him now.
Yep.
To let you know, don't mess with me.
He's got a friend.
Got a friend in Dom.
Got a little ghost following him.
But it's going to be interesting how Echo Fox actually deal with it. I think KFO should be able to at least hold under turret because he does have the threat of taunting and Spirit's Refuge. But I don't think he can press out anywhere past the turret. Even at the turret, actually, Seraph's just ignoring him and taking it out.
Seraph doing some damage, slowly whittling away that tier 2. As Echo Fox furiously try to defend the split push Seraph while putting their own pressure in the top and mid lane.
Now, Ninja just building more turrets, though. You take down my mid, put up another one.
Build another one. Build them up, break them down. And they broke it down. 27 minutes into the game, still very even in gold, and EnVy a little bit more defensive this game, a little bit more wave clear. Ninja, despite playing that Azir, not having anywhere near as big an impact as the Vladimir in game 2.
Oh, you just wait, my friend. He's got 2 items, building the third. Azir on track here for late game carry, definitely. Fiora on track for late game carry. Sivir getting into the crit build. Once that Infinity Edge is built, also on track for the late game carry. Even has the early Essence Reaver, so also multiplying with crit, or converting crit into cooldown reduction as well, so...
Yeah, we said it in Champion Select. This could be a very explosive team from EnVy, and they're being allowed to scale.
See if Echo Fox can actually pull off some sort of play here. They do have the Shen ultimate, and I've been waiting for some, big Gragas plays. You got to force a little bit more if you're facing a squad like this, but they haven't been able to do it, and Seraph is taking his toll down here in the bottom lane. Turret going down.
KFO hiding that Vital against the wall to deny Seraph.
Spirit Sword versus whatever weird
Laser Sword?
laser sword project
Oh,
wields.
curtain call drop down the mid lane. Seraph, might try to look for it as the rest of Echo Fox pressure down the mid lane. Finally, it's going to drop. Seraph is at remarkably low health, though, but mid-tier 2 remains falling, and Seraph solo kills KFO.
Takes the turret and cleans up the Shen. That's going to remove all of Fox's playmaking. They have to go right back to base now. It's emergency for Echo Fox. Turret on the inhibitor is going down. Inhibitor is soon to follow. Can they stop the recalls? Froggen will be interrupted.
No one's recalling. Froggen's actually caught out. He's going to be pulled back in. The Zanyas means he's preventing most of the damage, and he's able to flash the wall to escape with his life. But Seraph...
Inhibitor's toast.
Yeah, no one is touching him. He's going to be able to clear out this inhibitor with the hero play in the bottom lane.
2 items. That's our breakpoint for Fiora. Actually, maybe even... I'll leave
2.5 items?
Well, yeah. 1 item, you can still kill her. 2 items, it gets pretty annoying.
Yeah, you just saw EnVy skirmishing a bit with the Baron. They decide not to chance it, knowing that Echo Fox could still be on the map. Here it is once again.
Yeah. All right, so the reason he's this low to begin with is because he already used Taunt KFO under the turret to try and get him that low, so he has to wait a long time to be able to use it again, and I don't know why he goes back in for the re-engage, and Seraph ticking away, able to get everything off the bottom lane pretty much, and that's going to really open up pressure on Baron.
Yeah. EnVy still looking for that bounce back win after a rough 2 weeks playing against the top teams in the league.
Yeah.
They're finally getting back in the groove of playing to Seraph, let him manage those side waves and take advantages when the enemy team slips up.
A lot more cautious. Echo Fox had a great opening game to the set. EnVy after that returned to the books, a lot less risk taken, more scaling this time around, and Seraph getting to work. Another turret there from Ninja is going to allow them time to clear out vision around Baron, try and set up.
Woo! Good bit of damage.
Playing with
Ask is
fire
still
here,
available.
boy.
Seraph hops the wall. He's still got his flash, and he's chunked to half before backing away. Meanwhile, the rest of EnVy are in the top lane. They could be looking to rush that inhibitor while KFO is defending bottom.
Yeah, Seraph could just heal up off the Scuttle Crab, though, and then go back to mid lane. Teleport is available.
Ooh, Hakuho forced to flash away despite getting the snare lot over the wall while Froggen zones Proxen on the far side. EnVy defending on 3 fronts and are able to keep themselves safe.
Yeah, Echo Fox struggling here to keep up as they turn towards the Baron bait. Funneling through this team would be very, very scary. And they've got so much damage. They can burn this Baron down.
Yeah, they are doing enormous damage. It is secured. EnVy take the Baron 31 minutes in. And Kobe.
Is it Saturday yet?
It's 11:59.
Woo! We're going to make it. Saturday morning league.
Yeah, bright and
Reminds
early.
me of waking up early to watch cartoons as a kid.
This is a little early for cartoons.
True enough.
This is like Christmas morning presents early.
You know, we watch completely different cartoons when we woke up. I don't even know what kind of weird stuff cartoons actually mean to you.
Oh, man.
It was all King Arthur and then Knights of Camelot for me, Ninja Turtles. What do you got?
Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, I had that too.
And
That's old.
Scooby-Doo.
We replay that
Scooby-Doo
a
and the
lot.
Mystery Gang.
Those are very old Cartoon Network replay ones, I guess.
Yeah.
EnVy, though, not playing around.
Not that old.
They've got the Baron buff. They're closing in the split push. Super minions down bottom. Baron minions in all other lanes. It's going to make it very rough for Echo Fox to mount their defense.
They do have some pretty moderate wave clear, so they're able to keep the inhibitor alive for now. Just have to deal with the Baroned up minions in both lanes and super minions flooding in from the bottom. EnVy have got time as those super minions will eventually get closer and closer before catching the waves of Echo Fox.
Yeah, got time. Does it feel good, man, to have Azir, Sivir, Fiora late game, plus you already have all the gold lead and Baron buff. No need to rush anything. Super minions making their way in. Fox have to make their move. Time is not working in their favor. They just got to take an opportunity, the first opportunity that presents itself, and jump on it.
Oh, Seraph dodges out.
Hard needs to make a play here on Gragas.
Yeah, been so patient, using the ultimate primarily for picks whenever he's sure he can convert, or disengage whenever EnVy aggress too quickly. Echo Fox have been holding on. They've got about another 90 seconds before that Baron buff wears out, and they'll be a little bit more safe. So far, the inhibitor turrets have not taken a lot of damage, but EnVy haven't let up just yet, and they're just waiting for the opportunity to break into the base.
Seraph switching back and forth here. Grabs the mid lane wave as well.
And the bottom inhibitor actually respawns.
That should be a pretty easy take for him as well. Couple auto attacks from the minions is it. They're slowly chipping away.
Oh, Seraph.
Oh,
does a
here
lot of
comes
damage.
Froggen though. Okay. They can't keep him in place long enough.
Yeah, shows himself bottom. Seraph immediately just kites it back out before turning back onto the inhibitor. KFO makes a frowning face as it goes down, but EnVy shove down the mid lane, take down the inhibitor turret and the inhibitor.
No fight is going to look good, but you got to make a play. With two inhibitors down now, it's even more difficult. Like, there's zero time. Uh-oh.
There's on the hunt. Baron buff is about to wear off. Flash means EnVy are able to kite it out. They all line up behind Proxen.
Ninja is separated from the flock. And it's fine with that.
Yep. He's a lone bird.
All right, well, Echo Fox get to live a few more minutes here on Saturday morning. But the big play needs to be made soon. At least they've waited out Baron buff.
Yeah.
And the next Drake is Cloud Drake, so there's not much that EnVy can actually use to draw them out into the open. And Fox can remain in their base playing defensively. Problem is, these super minions are going to flood in. And 35 minutes in the game, Echo Fox actually haven't even been able to purchase very much damage to deal with super minions. So if EnVy just group up and hang around in the base, you know, kind of by the super minions, you could just usher the super minions in to start doing the work for you.
KFO has not had a great time keeping track of Seraph in the bottom lane, who's officially hit.
Woo!
Late
4
game
items.
Fiora.
That came out of nowhere. Did he? Hasn't been able to get to that Flame Horizon though.
He's working on it.
Got to work hard for that one. Shen's been able to see us at his Nexus turret.
Yeah. Only 30 CS away from the full Flame Horizon. But Echo Fox seemed to have, in the beginning of the game, they showed us some hope with some decisive plays, trying to take the action. You can see they're still even up in kills, but as the game wore on, they've fallen back into that controlled, defensive, waited out. Seraph I mean, I applaud what he's trying to do. He's doing a lot of damage to the turret, and Froggen's actually going to be bullied away.
doing it.
Yeah. He's...
I mean, you can. That's
yeah.
why you get Ravenous. He also has Bloodthirster on top of it, so the lifesteal is insane. He can take half his life and regenerate it in 2 hits.
He's going to get a lot of damage onto Froggen, dodges the Never Move. And the Nexus turrets, as you said, escorted in by Seraph, are taking a lot of damage. He's actually able to break it down 1 versus 2.
How many games do Echo Fox have to...
Oh, there's a tidal wave. Flash engage. They immediately turn on to Keith, who's chunked down to half, but Proxen will be able to get away. The snare misses, but Seraph is in the back line. Keith is going to be defended by both Big and KFO, who are trying to chase Seraph down. Meanwhile, Froggen split from his team, zones away Ninja, and the rest of EnVy. Ends up being a kill for Echo Fox, but they're losing their base.
Fighting them off, though. Yeah, they did lose a Nexus turret. So they lost some ground. But, you know, Froggen's 5-0-3.
He is.
He's got good numbers, as usual. There's the play. Hard tried to go for it. Didn't quite see. Did Ninja cleanse out of the... All right, well, didn't have anything for that bubble.
So by the bubble.
Yeah. He cleansed the combo from Hard on the initiate. There was a cleanse and a spell shield. Good attempt, though. No Shen on his back for the instant taunt follow-up. That's what you got to do to seal the deal there.
KFO instead saved Keith from Seraph.
Yeah.
Who, off-screen, as you just saw, did secure the Cloud Drake, which means Elder Drake is coming up. 44 minutes, 30 seconds. Echo Fox could look for that to finally get themselves back into this as they've moved now onto the map. Double inhibitors down. Snare catches Hakuho. Froggen tosses the Never Move. That's Flash Burn from Hakuho. Curtain Call does a bit of damage to Seraph, but as you said, got plenty of lifesteal and now a Quicksilver, so even if he does mistime a riposte, he can clean it up.
Yeah, right now, Echo Fox are trying to keep their minions pushed up to a decent level in the lane so that they don't get corralled inside their base during this Baron, but there's so many wards for EnVy, and they kill it so ridiculously fast. They're gonna go for it. You gotta go. Oh, it's gone.
Already secured. A little bit too slow. Froggen races in with the home guard. Ninja drops the divide. Keith, again, going to be targeted by Seraph, who's now 1 versus 4. Froggen doing the same on the opposite side. Seraph has got the Guardian Angel, though. Froggen is low. He's finally going to be shut down by Ninja. Seraph caught by the bubble. Proxy goes down. Seraph is going to get the riposte. Will they be able to kill him, though? Double kill for Ninja. Lod cleans it up. A big chase. The bubble is spell shielded. And Lod chases forward. Oh, the heal! Oh,
body
my God,
body slam!
Oh, finally, kill secured by Lod. It's 1 versus 3 for Big to defend the Nexus. EnVy are going to look to take this 2-1 against Echo Fox.
And that'll close it out on our longest Friday night ever. EnVy look like they're going to walk it in 2-1, take the series over Echo Fox.
Yeah, the Nexus turrets go down, the Nexus falls, and EnVy, recovering from their past 2 weeks, 1-3 performance, finally able to take a win back again in 2 very long games. Defeat Echo Fox.
Congratulations to Team EnVy. Seraph, they're doing a lot of work on the Fiora. Split push power.
Yeah.
Lod in all of the games. Very solid. That one there. Chasing him down on the Sivir.
Some very big crits by the end of that fight. As Seraph shakes hands all the way down, Echo Fox. Echo Fox did look a lot better over the course of that series. In Game 1, we finally saw them make some decisive plays and decisive calls. But then over the course of the series, we saw them sort of regress with those old patterns and struggle with it.
Yeah. Now they've got more material to work with. You know, Heaven Time the coach on there with the rest of the guys. They can focus on the in-game leadership for the mid-game, you know, and try and come up with, you know, how to transition. Definitely some improvements for Echo Fox, though, this weekend.
They still have another game to play later on this weekend, so we'll see if that continues to be a trend for them. But EnVy definitely going to feel good with that takeaway. Currently in 4th place. Going to need this much-needed win. In fact, I believe
they're going against Team Liquid.
Yeah.
I believe it's tomorrow, and that is definitely going to test them as well, because Team Liquid are having a resurgence of their own.
Yeah.
You know, making a very, very legitimate case to push past 4th place.
Yeah. I mean, this will be the big test for them. We kind of placed them at the bottom of the top 3. Well, yes, they've beat Echo Fox in 9th place after a pretty long series of matches. Did take them 40 minutes in both of their games to do it. So might be looking for something a little bit shorter if they can play a little bit more around something other than Seraph.
Yeah, I mean, they have showed, you know, a diverse set of strategies. We got a good look at the Karthus. That was fun. Even had Ninja on Azir, completely different look. And they are also able to pull that out. So I am confident, we know, with the diversity that EnVy are able to bring to it. But that has been one thing that's been true since they started this entire split, is the length of the games. Yeah. They don't try and rush it.
They certainly don't. And against other teams like TSM or Cloud9 or now even Team Liquid, who are playing a little bit faster, a little bit more reckless, we saw them already show a little bit of difficulty. Yeah.
Definitely could pose some problems with them. A different animal completely. Because Echo Fox will opt into the same kind of style, you know, more long games.
And that's why we're seeing that sort of, this series in particular, going on so long, because that is the default style of the teams, to fall back on that. But Echo Fox, as we said, they do have a lot to take away from this series. We're starting to see some more decisive plays over the course of it. But we're going to head it over, toss it over to Pastry Time, who has an interview with EnVy's winning AD carry.
Thank you very much. Yes, I'm here with Lot after a grueling series there versus Echo Fox. Lost game 1, pretty long series there on a late Friday night. How are you feeling after a very long best of 3?
Really tired. That's about it. It feels good to beat Echo Fox. I think even though their score or like their standings doesn't really reflect their skill, like I think they're a good team. So I'm glad we were able to beat them.
Cool, and I think I've noticed that you've played quite a number of AD carries through the first half of the split already. You seem to be comfortable in almost anything. Do you prefer playing one or the other, or do you just kind of play whatever the team needs?
I think my favorite AD to play is Ezreal, but honestly, with him, you kind of just get carried for 30 minutes and pray your team can make it through early game, so you don't really have too much of an impact until later. So, I mean, I like playing pretty much every AD, just whatever's good for the comp.
Well, makes sense, and I guess you guys have had a pretty good result so far. Were your expectations like this coming into the split? You're a top 4 team now, at least halfway through the split. Were you thinking a little lower, a little higher? Kind of what was the team's thoughts moving into the summer?
I mean, our expectations actually weren't too high. We hoped to get playoffs. We kind of expected to be top 6, but we didn't really expect ourselves to be doing this well. We did lose to like all the best teams, the top 3 teams, but we seem to consistently beat like all the teams below us. So I think it feels pretty good.
And I guess with those top 3 teams, you've got TSM, Scene, and Animortars all above you. You're obviously kind of a newer AD carry to at least this season of the LCS. How are you feeling as far as your skill in relation to those top teams? Because you're almost there, but it feels like maybe you got a ceiling to punch through.
Yeah, personally, I feel pretty good. I don't really feel out of my comfort zone playing versus the top teams, but this season, or this split in particular, like the top team's macro play is just so ridiculously good. So it often doesn't really come down to like how good each player is on an individual level, but just how good the team is gelling together. So we have like a ways to go before we can break through and be better or beat the top 3 teams. But I think eventually by the end of the split, we could get there.
Yep, and you're halfway through now, so still plenty of season to go. You're playing Team Liquid to sort of kick off the next half of your season. How are you feeling about that matchup? And then moving through the next half of the season, where do you guys think you'll be?
I'm really looking forward to the match versus Team Liquid because they actually have a pretty different roster from when we played them before. They're using Dardoch and they have Fabi, so they're actually looking like a completely different team. They'll probably be like quite a bit harder than last time, and I'm looking forward to the match. I think it's going to be a good match.
Well, best of luck tomorrow. Congratulations on your win this evening. Thank you very much, love, for joining me. But we're going to throw it back to Freak and Dash at the analyst zone.
Thank you very much, Pastry. EnVy managed to take the series, winning the second 2 games over Echo Fox. So we're not going to see 2 upsets tonight, just the one we'll have to do for now. But they will be happy to have picked that one up, especially given the fact that their previous couple weeks, they definitely seem to be stumbling a little bit. Granted, they were playing against most of the top-tier teams during those 2 weeks, but definitely that initial hot streak, that role that this new team in Team EnVy had. This is going to hopefully kind of, moving into the second half of the split, give them a resurgence of energy.
And you heard Laud talk about it. He says, yeah, we thought we'd be playoff, not top 4, so that's kind of nice. But he's like, yeah, but we lost all the top teams. So, yeah, EnVy feel appropriately placed. Their drafts felt better than last week's, where I thought they were pretty much all deplorable, all the games they played last week. So, I'm seeing some improvements. Yeah, they're a roughly 4th place team. And that's not shameful. They're a new squad. Okay, that's pretty damn good for a first split together. If that's where they end up, hey, good for them.
Yeah. Definitely wouldn't be unhappy.
But if they improve, cool. That's even better, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. Being in playoff position right now, comfortably moving into the second half of the split, still plenty of time to improve as a team. We dive into this third game in particular.
Yeah.
What we'll notice is the fact that EnVy did build a pretty decent gold lead throughout the game. However, Echo Fox had control of the Dragons.
Drakes.
So it's kind of, it's one of those things where most of the time we see the team with a gold lead managing to pick up the Dragons because they have that gold lead, so they're given the allowances. The other team won't contest. This situation, not the same.
And that's one of the things about Drakes compared to, like, Season 2, Season 3, where they're just gold and you just kind of scaling the same max. It's like, well, here's stats. Okay, that's nice, but, like, that didn't change the mechanics of how the game was working.
Right.
And we got to see the matchup that Liquid wanted way back in the first game at the beginning of the day, where it's like, yeah, Fiora and Shen. First pick Shen, by the way, kind of weird about Echo Fox, but maybe there's a world where this would make sense. I was going to let it go for now. Echo Fox's draft still kind of weird, but hey, here comes Fiora and Seraph. Honestly, having a field day with this one. Seraph and KFO, I think players that people generally respect. KFO is a solid player. Here's Seraph winning the matchup. We were like trying to see if he could Flame Horizon the guy throughout the game,
Yeah.
But yeah, doing really good things on Seraph. Eventually, he's like 1v2ing at Nexus turrets. And it's like, yep, your base is going down. You're running out of time.
Well, Shen Fiora, we saw in the Cloud9 game where the Shen wins.
Smashed him.
Here, we've got the Fiora coming out on top. So again, it does kind of show there might be a bit of a skill matchup here. It might just be lopsidedness of the players themselves.
But it is them trying to play Fiora. In both cases, it's I see Shen. That's nice. Here's a Fiora.
Exactly. So ultimately, the Fiora does go off. This is going to tie into our replay, which is the game-winning fight from EnVy around the Baron Pit, 39.5 minutes into the game, 4 for 2. Seraph, man, just doing work in this fight as Fiora. Does have the GA to give him a little bit of confidence in terms of how he can dive in.
Backline access, focus onto Keith. A nice riposte right there, blocks out plenty of stuff. It's not but that's okay. He's going to dive right back in. He's forcing Keith to really just not get a ton of damage out. And this nice flash sort of resets and buys a fair bit of time. Just make sure that his own backline can do some damage, right? This is Laud on Seraph. He's going to get plenty damage output here. Right, booming across the backline, nearly knocks out Keith with again. Seraph, more could riposte, and somehow gets to dodge away from that one, which is really sick because he's able to recall into immediate TP to the bot lane because he knows there's an open inhibitor, it's more things to do, and so you're going to see him right away. There's the teleport in the bottom of the screen. So it doesn't even matter if Laud does this. It doesn't even matter if Ninja dies here.
Yeah.
Just buy enough time that Hard can't rejoin, and he can 1v5. He can 1v0 the base with a minion wave close by with a Baron buff. That's going to be a game-winning play.
And Seraph rightly does not concern himself with the remainder of that fight. So he just TPs to the bottom, says even if they don't get those kills, they delay the backs long enough, I can end this game. They do just that.
And even good on him to make sure he walks into the fight, not teleport, right? It's EnVy setting up the general play. And statistically, EnVy aren't actually doing a great job with their end games. Like based on their early game leads, they're like winning like roughly as expected. Like they're not out macroing teams in the late game, like pulling out wins they're not supposed to. They're just sort of playing kind of average in the mid to late game, statistically anyway, right? You can sort of point out points of brilliance and failure, whatever. But you're seeing some of that does exist, right? And when it focuses on Seraph himself, I think he's still a very smart player, very heady player. He's like, okay, because we're going to get Baron, right? And because like I can play for this bot lane, I want to make sure I save TP so I can always go for that game-winning push, right? He was always playing for that condition, and he finds it there. And that's, again, mark of a good player. He's playing toward win conditions.
I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit because you say statistically, what in particular is giving us that sense?
Stat?
Is it game time? Is it they have X lead, so they should be able to close it by X time?
Exactly. It's basically saying, okay, it's like choosing like 50 minutes as your point. It's like, okay, if you're on average, every game you're 1,000 gold up, you should be winning 90% of those games.
Right.
And if you're only winning 80% of those games, your mid-game shot calling's wrong. Right. And that's the lens you're looking through there. Is based on when they have leads, they should or should not be closing it out with this frequency, and they're just hitting par. Right. Which means they're number 4 because they're getting those early game leads and then playing them out averagely. And that's the statistical analysis. And of course you can go game by game. And they've played like 23 games now at this point. You could look at individual games, but that's what the stats tell.
And your point is further supported by the fact that EnVy plays some of the longest games in the league currently. So it just
they're not just like smashing games for closing. They're winning an average amount of games to close.
Yeah, they need time. Now, granted, they're still winning most of their games, so that's a good thing. Whether it takes you 45 minutes or 35 minutes, winning is the most important thing. Doing it in a cleaner fashion is obviously nice. So you want to move to player of the game. Seraph is going to pick it up. That's not going to come as a surprise based on what we saw throughout this game on that Fiora, showing us that in this skill matchup, Fiora can beat out the Shen. We can have those late game plays. He has continued to impress throughout the split, both individually as a player, but also in the way that he stepped up and kind of helped grow and lead this team.
Yep, and you saw the build right there, right? Triforce from CDR is kind of nice. Like, a lot of movement speeds you can get around the Shen. Into double lifesteal. I think it was double lifesteal. I think it was Hydra and Bloodthirster. So yeah, just sustain through what damage Shen does have, and then, well, if I'm allowed to get 3 items, I'm just going to smash you. Being ahead in items obviously helps a little bit. Got some help from his team. Nice job, Prox, and good job, all of EnVy. But yep, abusing the matchup, getting the rest of the team to play safe enough that they were good to go.
All right, well, EnVy finishing out their first half of the split with a victory. Now for a look at the updated LCS standings following our 2 series tonight. TSM and Immortals, well, they still lead the way. With their win tonight, though, Team EnVy has pulled into a 3rd place tie with Cloud9. Liquid moves into 5th place, and the bottom half of the standings in order is Apex, CLG, Energy, Echo Fox, and Phoenix 1. Now, the LCS is just getting started this week, so tune back in tomorrow for a slate of fresh matchups. At noon Pacific tomorrow, 2 big names are looking to move up the ladder going head-to-head on NALCS 1 when Energy battles Counterlogic Gaming. And be on the lookout for our match of the week. It's a big one. Sunday, the Battle Theater becomes a battleground for Cloud9 and Immortals in their top of the table tango. And on Sunday, we're also hosting 2 special guests. Hotshot and Reggie will be joining the broadcast, with CLG and TSM also meeting on stage Sunday. It's going to be a show that you won't want to miss. Regardless of where those 2 teams sit in the standings, TSM and CLG, it's always such a fabulously hyped matchup to watch, just because of all the emotion and the history behind these 2 squads.
Absolutely, I mean, and we'll get to see CLG on Saturday if they have finally shaped up now that we're on week 5 and they're back to a good team. It's a little bit of the rumbling I'm hearing right now. If CLG's back on form, it's a nice team to try to knock down TSM with.
Right, and then of course we talked a little bit about beginning of the show, this Immortals versus Cloud9 matchup. Even though Cloud9 did fall today, down a peg, I'm still very excited for that matchup because of how close it was the first time and because of how many leaps and bounds C9 has made throughout the course of the split. Immortals still look to be very strong, and even Poe Belter, who many would argue was the weak link, if there was a weak link in the spring split, has really upped his play.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I mean, all the weak links are now off the teams anyway. He's off, not playing League anymore. So, that's a weak joke. He's done so. But
I got you.
Yeah, I mean, after seeing C9 play yesterday, technically, okay, there's some more sort of holes there, but I think that's more Liquid looking a lot better and looking like a really solid team. I think there's no really shame in C9 losing that match. I think they're still a great team in Immortals. Haven't seen them in a week, but we're pretty sure they're amazing still.
Yeah, big matchups, big plays. We're always keeping our eye out on that hashtag LCS big plays. And tonight, one play in particular rose to the top with tons of you calling it out. I'm Not Perry tweeted out, Meteos, I worship your steals. Let's see Meteos cruise in and jack the Baron.
Meteos is in the area. He's going to try for a steal, but I don't think he'll make it in time.
Got Flash and Smite, and Phoenix wants to assassinate him.
Death ray damage, not quite enough. Meteos hero, no Lola goes, he stole it!
I threw Hawk Shot.
Oh my
Nice.
Feels good, man.
That went down to 200 health as well. That was actually really, really kind of
It was
tight
very
with Smite. His own burst and auto attack came out, which knocked it into, I think, his Smite range. Dardock failed to hit his, obviously a misplay. But hey, you make it happen, you make it happen. Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Those 50-50s, right? You play it as well as you can on Meteos' side. Team Liquid maybe could have done a few things to keep him away from the pit, but a hero play that kept him in that game. They didn't end up winning that game, unfortunately.
But it was cool.
But it was a big play. It was a big play, and that's all that matters. All you need is a big play. Well, while we're talking about tweets, earlier tonight, Bucci NZ came through with a gem, and we just had to share it. He writes, I'm loving Freak and Dash on the analyst desk. Well, you know what, Freak? I'm loving us too.
I am as well. I think this has been wonderful. I'm happy to share the space with you.
Yeah.
8 hours of League of Legends and lots
We've
of
had
puzzles.
a great time tonight.
Yeah.
For as long as the night has been. We've had a fantastic evening. The games have been fabulous. The company has been great.
Aww.
Thank you, Freak. No, but ultimately
well.
great. Hey, can you do that one more time? Can you actually do the Miley tongue?
Actually, it's
like...
There
There it is. That's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, that looks
I have a fairly large tongue, actually.
gross enough. All right, perfect. Well... that's going to do it for this week. Get this off the screen. I don't want to look at it anymore. All right, thank you very much.
Look at it anymore?
None of that. All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We need to get some rest so we can come back and see some awesome games tomorrow. For myself, Freak, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
And the Bindings here, but Meteor score on the front side in the gravity field. Sneaky now going to get chased out. Team Liquid going to clean things up as Phoenix get a double kill. Team Liquid topple a giant to take the series. EnVy get locked against the wall. Sarah pops over to the side. Hot is destroyed by Echo Fox, but the Barrett gets picked up by Ninja. There's a Requiem as he drops it over the wall. Sarah gets knocked away.
Echo Fox going to be charging in, looking for that game number 2.
The lamp threat that slows it down.
And
Ninja gets knocked out. KFO is still alive. Finally going to drop her. It goes down. Seraph and Hakuho don't even care about Echo Fox anymore. They're going to drop the Nexus. And after a very patient 40-minute game, they take us to game 3.
EnVy are trying to back away.
Gets the casket, separates them back in. Caught by the bubble. Proxy goes down. Seraph is going to get the riposte. Will they be able to kill him, though? Double kill for Ninja. Lot cleans it up. A big chase. The bubble is spell shielded.
It looks like they're going to walk it in 2-1, take the series over Echo Fox.